In mechanism of photosynthesis, yet another term to understand before coming to the actual mechanism. The term is photophosphorylation. Now, what you have to understand from the term, that the process of phosphorylation is nothing but synthesis of ATP. As you know, the energy currency of the cells is ATP. So here we deal with the formation of ATP from ADP, of course, in the presence of light. So what is photophosphorylation? Photophosphorylation is a light driven synthesis of ATP. Now, because the synthesis of ATP is in the presence of light, and because we have been dealing with photosynthesis, and because till now we have talked about photosystems, we have this process of photophosphorylation manifested in two different ways. First one is cyclic photophosphorylation, that is the cyclic process, and the second one is non-cyclic photophosphorylation. So in this lesson we are going to talk about the process of cyclic photophosphorylation. The second lesson would be talking about, we would be talking about the non-cyclic one, where there would be formation of ATP, and of course it would involve what you have studied in the previous lesson, that is electron transport system or the electron transport chain, where the electron is excited from the respective photo system. So here we are going to deal with the cyclic one, and when we talk about cyclic photophosphorylation, we have to talk about phosphorylation. We have to deal with the photosystem 1. Now, in the case of photosystem 1, as you know, we talk about P700. Second thing is that it is a cyclic process. Now, how it is cyclic and what is the role of P700? Because it is light driven, that means photons have some role in it. Because it is photophosphorylation, because it is part of photosynthesis, so the photosystem also has a role. And you know by now that there is a photosynthetic unit. And because we are to deal with electron system, electron transport chain, which is in turn reducing one another agent one by one, so we have to deal with redox potential, and for that we have this potential graph that we have represented over here. Here we have the redox potentials represented. Now we are going to have a cyclic process. A cyclic process where an electron would be excited, and as the name suggests, the electron will have to come back to the same place from where it was excited in order to make it look like a cyclic process. In a cyclic process, whenever we talk about a cycle in botany at least, whatever is the beginning of the process, that has to be regenerated by in the end. This is what a cycle looks like. Whenever we will be talking about cycles in the lessons, and previously also you had talked about the cycles that were Krebs cycle and rest of the cycles. We begin with the particular product, or you can say reactant, and in the end we regenerate that reactant. In the same way, in the process of cyclic photophosphorylation, we have to deal with an electron transport chain where the electron from where it was generated, it would come back at the same place. Now let us see how that occurs. We are going to talk about few electron acceptors. We are going to talk about the process where the process starts with the excitation of electrons as was seen in the photosynthetic unit. Let us take a photosynthetic unit over here. Not here. Let's represent it over here. This is the photosynthetic unit. There are the antenna molecules. There lies P700. The wavelength of 700 nanometer falls on this particular site, and energy as much as 23 kilocalorie per mole falls on it, that is given by a single photon. The electron gets excited and is taken up by agent X. Okay, this agent X is lying at a very negative redox potential. As you can see, this electron gets excited, it goes to agent X, which is nothing but a special type of chlorophyll molecule only. Now this particular photosystem has become a strong oxidant now. Why it is an oxidant? Because it has lost its electron and it is available for readily accepting the electron. But from where that electron will come back, will come or supply it with the electron, the deficiency would be supplied, it would be the same electron that would be coming back. So one thing is clear, that this particular electron which had jumped from here has to come back over here. But how? That we have to see. How this X passes on its this electron has to come back. Please remember that one which has gone, it will come back. It's like you fight with your parents, move out of the house, but in the evening you realize you have to come back to the same house. Same way, this electron, it jumps, it goes to agent X, which is a special type of chlorophyll molecule. This agent X starts behaving like a strong reducing agent and passes on the electron to next, that is FeS complex. This FeS complex passes on the electron to the next complex, that is Ferredoxin. Okay, this is Ferredoxin. I would write Ferredoxin completely over here. This Ferredoxin passes on the electron to cytochrome B, cytochrome F complex. From cytochrome B to F, B and F, it goes to plastocyanin. And from plastocyanin, it comes back to the site from where it was excited. So what you see over here, that the electron has traversed a cycle sort of region where it got excited from P700, that is photosystem 1, to an electron acceptor, that is agent X, a special type of chlorophyll which becomes a reducing agent. It gives the electron to FeS, then it gives it to Ferredoxin complex, then cytochrome BF complex, then to plastocyanin, and then back to P700. And while this transition is taking place, the ADP along with inorganic phosphate, because the electrons are coming down the redox potential, as you can see, they are losing the energy. This energy is taken up by ADP in the formation of ATP. So this is what is cyclic photophosphorylation all about. As you can see, we had said in the beginning that there would be involvement of light and there would be formation of ATP. Now in the end of the lesson, what we have arrived to, that light is involved. It was light which brought about the excitation of electron, and as the electron traversed the redox potential scale through various reducing agents, we see that that energy coming down the energy graph, that energy is trapped up by these two compounds in the formation of ATP. So this is all about cyclic photophosphorylation. As you can see, the site from where the electron was excited, it came back to the same site by subsequent steps, and in those steps, while it was coming down the energy graph, that energy was taken up by these two, ADP and inorganic phosphate, in the formation of ATP. So this is all about cyclic photophosphorylation. Do keep in mind this process, because this process takes place inside the plants and is playing an important role for the entire photosynthesis. Yet again, we don't find glucose anywhere. We don't find any other thing which was part of explanation of photosynthesis. But have patience, we are going to come to it. A few more lessons which are off the track, not about the mechanism in proper, but we would come there and you will understand it in a better way. These lessons are going to help you in that.